Welcome to the seventh edition of Business and Arts. My name is Nyakalo Lepoto. The name of the channel is The Contributors. You can log on to Facebook actually and like our page there, so you can see all the things that we do there. We're not just about the business and the arts, and now for people who are not into the arts, who are not musicians, who are not DJs, this probably isn't quite relevant much to you. However, you can still follow, because we're going to have Mampa Inake on the following weeks or so doing girl talk. So there will be a whole lot more lifestyle-ish type of show, also feminine, so you will relate a whole lot more to those things. She was telling me that the first topic that she's going to do is called Hi Say Satsu. What is Hi Say Satsu? What happens? What do we do? What do we do Hi Say Satsu? That's what's going to be happening on Girl Talk. Make sure that you do like our page, like also follow us on TikTok, also subscribe on YouTube. The Contributors, we give you content. I'll make sure that we keep doing that. My name is Nyakalo Lepoto. You can also find me on Facebook. Nyakalo Lepoto is a page. Make sure that you like it. You can also find me on Twitter at Nyakalo Lepoto. You can also find me on Instagram on that particular name at Nyakalo Lepoto. And in the background here we have Igwe KC Raplot alongside brilliant Masibuko. This one is called Size. Yeah, we've been having this conversation about having the sound of your neighborhood. These are the guys from Kwata, so we also say, the sound of Kwata, what would it sound? Because there are people who have done genres that really represent their own roots. We can talk about Mafike, they had one of those people who came up with Mutwaka, rapping in Setswana. And it really penetrated the length and the breadth of South Africa, just as a unique sound from that part of the world. What type of music does your part of the world come up with? These guys are from Igwe KC Raplot alongside brilliant Masibuko. This one is called Size. I really do like that whole lot, man. A lot, man. Show body great and as I say. The topic today is the Cassper Nyovest phenomenon. So these are the 8 business moves that you can learn from Cassper Nyovest. Why do you want to learn from Cassper Nyovest? He is, whether you like him or not, but he is one of the most premier business people of our time. Not just rappers, but business people in the arts. We can't really talk about the business and the arts and not talk about Cassper Nyovest, because he's doing so well on that particular front in this country. He is not educated, but he is highly informed. And the biggest mistake people can make is thinking just because Cassper Nyovest left school, he dropped out from school, so I can also drop out and I'll still be as famous and as successful as he is. I see a whole lot of people, young people in the arts and the music industry, being DJs and stuff like that, thinking that no, school is not important, because there's so many people out there who are not employed and they have degrees and everything. So I'll not just go out there myself also and be like Cassper Nyovest, be a high school dropout and actually employ those people. In theory it will work out like that, because maybe that's what Cassper Nyovest is doing. However, in reality it isn't really quite like that. Go back to school, go to school. The worst thing, favor you could do yourself is to try and be like Cassper by quitting school. Be informed. Cassper Nyovest is informed. He knows the business in and out. He is informed about the type of people who have come before him. People like Dr. Dre and all of those people. Cassper Nyovest looks at these people and sees how these people have actually done their business. So you must also do that, but also have a degree, have a diploma, have something, go to school, get educated. He doesn't make most of his money rapping. He's always been a businessman. That's another thing. People go out there and says, no, I'm going to be rapping, and they spend a whole lot of time in the studio. You're not going to be like Cassper Nyovest. if you're investing so much of your energy in the studio, wanting to be like Cassper Nyovest, because Cassper Nyovest is making business moves. He's out there boxing now. Most of his money is not really coming from, the stuff that he does in the studio. Most of his money is not coming from the businesses that he is doing. He's on Biliotto right now. He is he's signing 100 million rand deals with Drip. The footwear. He's doing a whole lot. He's doing a whole lot. He was doing that other show, the Brian show on TV and stuff. He's doing a whole lot of stuff that's got nothing to do with rapping. So a lot of his money is not coming from rapping. So this is why we could say everybody can stand something to learn from Cassper Nyovest, from the business standpoint, and not just because he's a hip hop person, but because he's just a business, man. He did not spend most of his first money on lavish things. I think right now he is living quite lavishly. He's driving all these expensive cars, and he's making a point that you do see that he's living this type of life. But when he started out, he didn't start off right from the bat buying expensive things and looking all lavish. And if you remember from his Mapondo days and stuff, the Dr. Shemeli's and things, he reinvested a whole lot of his money into himself, into his businesses. If you could remember, he had like a record label. I think he still does have a record label, but doesn't do much from that. He had a merchandise store. Family Tree. We were rocking up those T-shirts when he was still starting out. I still see those T-shirts, but I don't know if the store is still around and stuff. But that's where he started, and he did the fill up the dome. He spent so much of his money making sure that particular festival was a success. So a lot of the first money that he made, he did not just get off buying cars and stuff. He reinvested it into his own business, making sure he's got the studio, the equipment. He's not just a rapper. You know what I mean? He's a business person. He can actually get a whole lot more rappers under his wing. And to that, he had that fill up the dome, fill up Orlando Stadium, the fill up. He even went to a point where the whole fill up was trademarked. The whole word fill up was said. But those are business moves, man. The things that he did when he started out. And he surrounded himself with the right people. You could see that Cassper Nyovest, wherever he's going, he's making the moves that are calculated. The people that he becomes friends with, Majida, the people that are putting the whole Biliato thing, together and all of those. Even before, when he started, he was, surrounding himself with Double HP. He's very close to Double HP, so that, he could see the moves around the business, so you could see where the people such as the Double HP actually failed business-wise, so you could learn that and succeed in that particular thing, and he actually did that. He actually righted the wrongs of musicians that came before him. He's a high school dropout, that's for sure, but he has an eye for new ventures. He's into this boxing thing right now, the things that your Mayweathers are doing, just fighting Shane McGregor, whoever Shane McGregor, but people that are not necessarily associated with the particular sport, but he is there now, putting them celebrity boxing matches, and if you could see now, his impending boxing match with Mac Music, it's basically the VVIP tickets are sold out. That's how. Those are the business moves that he's making. Obviously, he's selling these tickets to the corporates and stuff like that, because those are the primary customers for the VVIP. So he's getting all these companies out there. He's obviously going out there to fight in the ring, and then he'll go out there and check the guys that are in the VVIP guys. And how can we make money? You know what I mean? So he's not just a person who dropped out of high school. He's got an eye. And that's what you should do as well in your particular musician. In Giant B, in your neighborhood, you are the best rapper and all that. Don't just sit in the studio and think, no, I need to put up a hot song, and the hot song, that's what will make me rich. It's not. It's an eye for business. It's an opportunity to say, in my hometown, this is what the people need. You get into so many things. You can get into property, just rent rooms out, things like that. If that's the need in your hood, you can get into the business of logistics, trucks, maybe bakkies and stuff, transport people out, transport school kids out, a whole lot of things. Just be on the lookout of what's happening in your neighborhood and do that, as opposed to just sitting in the studio and then going home, sitting in the studio and going home. Just open an eye everywhere you go, where an opportunity might come through. Yes, he is spending his money now. We're still talking about Cassper Nyovest. He is spending his money now. I mean, he's just bought very expensive cars in succession. I think now he's got a McLaren or something, very expensive cars. But he is building his brand to such an extent that it will bring back the money to support the lifestyle that he is living right now. But I'm thinking, if I do business with Cassper Nyovest right now and I'm seeing him, I see him rock up in a Maserati or in a McLaren or in a Bentley or whatever he drives now, comes in there, I'm going to come in there and talk about 1,000 rands business deals. I need to up my game as well so I can make it worthwhile. This guy, time. He's talking millions. I'm pretty sure like deals that he's doing now is like, let's talk about 10 million or up. If you're not gonna make me 10 million rand deal or up, if you're busy out there, it's like, hey, I have money, what like a name, it's like, book me. But you're not gonna book somebody who drives a McLaren and pay him 20,000 rands. You need to make it worth his while. So he is actually building his brand that I am this person who lives this life, who brings this type of value. And if you want to talk to me, if you want my phone number, if you want to call me, or if you want to call my people, make sure that the deal at least has this much money. It's branding and it's all. It's branding and it's all. Unlike if I come out there and I'm driving, my Fiat Uno and stuff like that, you kind of look at this guy like, no, this guy, even if we give this guy 5,000 rands, he'll take it. He'll take it. But you wouldn't do that, to somebody who drives a McLaren. Smart moves from that guy. His social media moves are calculated. You must check his Facebook. You must check his Twitter mostly, and Instagram. It's all money moves. It's all money moves. Even if sometimes he goes out there and he says something very controversial, it's going to come back to him in dollar signs. He doesn't just go out there and just write something down that just really has no value on anything, and he stays away from the things that can take money away from him, things such as religion, talking about politics, you should look at all these people. Like in the previous one I mentioned, Mini Lamini, I mentioned Lerato Khanyago, I'm mentioning Cassper Nyovest now. You go out there and check how these people are conducting themselves on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram. They are all about focusing on the money, focusing on the business. Do not offend people. Don't talk about people's churches. Don't talk about political parties. Don't talk about all of these things that would really offend people. My name is Nyakalola Portuman. Catch me on the next one in the background. This is a song called Size that I really like a lot. Ego KC that I've loved, featuring brilliant Masibuko, Kimajita, Kwakwa, Kimajita, Kamanaka, Matebele. From Kwakwa. Signing out. Next, my new car, Business and Arts. The next one we're going to be doing is Before You Blow Up. The things that you really need to do before you become famous, before you blow up.
خليجي بيت لباجي سناساسي وشغل ديالا هاي اساسي هاجنا اساسي يا غيبوبي هاجنا اساسي يمينو هاجنا اساسي يا غيبوبي هاجنا اساسي